First, even by what you're saying, that it should have lapsed in 2021. Secondly, this CBA was registered in court, wasn't it?
It was registered.
And in court, it's indicated as 2017-2024. Yes. So they are of the opinion, first, from what you're saying tonight, and secondly, that you have the intention to renegotiate a CBA that was registered in court.
Yes, and
after the 100-day strike.
Once a CBA has lapsed, it opens a window for negotiation.
Fresh negotiation.
Yes.
But there must be a fulfillment of the terms of that CBA before it lapses. Because as a lawyer, it lapses when one party fulfills, so both parties fulfills.
I am not a lawyer. I will not argue as a lawyer. I will argue from the policymaker's position. What we should ask ourselves, Ken Mejungu, that the matters in that CBA that ought to have been fulfilled from 2017 to 2024, we are here now.
Yes.
Why weren't they not fulfilled if there were matters that could be fulfilled? And for me tonight, I want to speak to the doctors and to any other union for that matter, that let us not get into signing CBAs for the sake of signing. We ought to negotiate and sign a CBA with the intention to fulfill.
So you think
can sign a CBA for the sake of signing a CBA. And that, I am not ready to do it now, to sign it for the sake of signing. If I'm going to sign a CBA now, then I must have a plan on how to fulfill that CBA. So that CBA had what I can call limitations or had extremes that couldn't be fulfilled. And that is why we are here where we are.
We'll talk about those extremes.
Yes.
But I need to really clear with this CBA because it's a legal document. How do you intend to navigate that hurdle of being registered in court? Because the negotiations after the 100 days, when the court agreed, and this was a joint agreement between the ministry and the doctors, that this CBA is now signed and sealed and shall be fulfilled between 2017 and 2024. Fully performed by 2024. It's not been fully performed. And now you're saying there were issues in that CBA that were signed just for the sake of signing. So were they duped back then?
I don't want to say they were duped. For me, I think the parties did not give a lot of thought in implementation of the CBA. I have said, and I'm committing myself, that if I'm to sign a CBA, I'll sign a CBA knowing very well that there's a plan for implementation of that CBA. So then we need to open the conversation. What are those issues in the CBA that were not implemented? And what are the reasons for them having not been implemented?
Okay.
Yes.
What are you,
and one, I want us first to clarify.
Yes.
What is a CBA, Ken? It's a collective bargaining agreement between an employer and an employee. We must be very clear on that, first of all. Once we are clear on that, then we can discuss the other details. And one of the reasons why it made it very difficult for that CBA to be implemented on one of the aspects is because of inclusion of non-employees.
Explain.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity. I was waiting for it.
Explain. Who are the non-employees?
Interns.
Interns.
As it is now, we have interns who are in session. Interns are being given a chance to practice that they have gone through during the education system, during the training, during the years that they have been in college. They graduate, then they get to an intern. That when now you are faced with the actual situation of dealing with patients, then after a year of having practiced that, you are given a license to practice. Without a license to practice, you cannot be employed as a doctor. So they are not employees of anybody. And that is one of the mistakes that happened in that CBA.
Okay. Do they undertake the obligations and duties of a qualified medical doctor?